Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to talk about my two favorite flashlights. This is a practical review of the Warrior 3S and the Baton 4 Premium by Olight. I've had the Warrior 3S. I bought this myself about 2 years ago, somewhere in there, and it's just become my favorite flashlight by far. For overlanding, camping, being out in the woods, and we'll get out. I'll wait for the sun to go down. We'll do some testing with these. The insane brightness is amazing on this. I've spotted mountain lions with it, I've spotted elk, I've spotted owls, and anytime you hear in the bump in the night, having something this powerful and focused to be able to just boom, just instantly see what's going on is amazing. It's got really good throw, it's got really smart, intuitive features. I've been through a lot of cheap flashlights over the years. They never seem to last. And I've spent so much money. Yeah, you spend 20, 30 bucks on a flashlight, it lasts you a year, and then you buy another one the next year, and another one the next year, another one the next year, and it adds up. It makes sense to spend a little bit more on something that's really well made, is going to last a long time, and has a replaceable battery, easy to replace too, and a really good lifetime warranty. So if anything ever happens to this, I just send it back and get a new one. So it was just kind of a no-brainer to buy once, cry once. For me, one of my cheap flashlights that lasted about 1.5 years just broke on me last night. I was testing it out to compare it to these, and it broke. So this has a back button on it, which you can soft press and get the first brightness, or you can hard press and you can set those two to whatever brightness you want. And it's also got a button on the top. And I have it set so when you press it, it goes to the lowest setting. And then when you soft press the back one, it goes to the second setting, and then you hard press it and it's the brightest. But you can also double press this one and it'll take you straight to the brightest setting, which is awesome. It's got a strobe, which you have to press 3 times. You gotta hit this one. You hit this one, it'll strobe 3 times. I love that because I don't accidentally hit the strobe. Some of the cheap flashlights I've had, I've accidentally hit the strobe, and it drives me crazy because I don't want to see that. It's got this awesome clip on it. Hopefully it'll focus. It's focusing on my head. You can clip it this way or this way. So you can clip it down. Let's see if I can. You can clip it that way or that way. I love that. And it's got this awesome case that is like soft felt on the inside. The flashlight just fits in there. It's got this nice clip, and on the back it's got, you can run this through a molly panel, or you can go underneath through your belt, and you can also attach it with like a carabiner or something. It's got drain holes on both sides, so that if you want to mount it this way, you can, or if you want to go the other way, you can. Comes in a bunch of different colors. The beam on this is nice and focused, but it also, and I'll show you tonight when we get out and test these things, it also spreads out a little bit too. So it's almost got like 2 different focus beams going on. And it gets pretty hot when it's on high, so it's got a sensor in it that when you get close to something, it'll turn itself down automatically. And if it gets too hot, it'll knock itself down to the next lower level. So this is awesome for being out in the woods and be able to spot things that are far away. Like I said, you hear something in the middle of the night, you want to see what it is. This is awesome for that. This is awesome if you get lost or something. Having that super bright light and strobe is awesome. And I'll put on the screen some of the stats of how long it lasts on the different settings. I love this thing. It lasts for forever. Huge battery, replaceable. This is awesome. It is a little bulky, a little heavy. If I'm just going to go on a hike and there's a possibility that I might be stuck overnight, it's a little heavy and bulky for that. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, this is the charger. It's got this magnetic charger that just sticks on the back, and you can get a remote switch for this. I think it replaces the end cap. You can mount this to a rifle and get a remote switch that's on a wire, so you can turn on the switch and turn the light on and off. I haven't tested that, but that is an option for this thing. Totally kick-ass tactical flashlight. So, like I was saying, this one's a little heavy, a little bulky for just throwing in the bag for, you know, a backpacking trip or just going on a casual hike that you might be out after dark. So we've got this. It takes up less space, it weighs less. This is a charger battery that actually charges the flashlight up to 5 times, and you can use this if you take a USB-C cable with you. You can use this to charge your phone or your Garmin or whatever else. It's a portable power bank. And here's the actual flashlight. This is the Olight Baton 4. This is the new one. I got it in the green to match my other one. I have been using this every day for the last 2 weeks that I've had it. Thanks to Olight for sending this out to me to test out. I love this thing. I work in manufacturing, and I use this all day long at work. I'm working inside units where it's dark. I'm attaching things and doing things inside of units, and I can't really see, and this has been amazing to just flick on and boom, I can see exactly what's going on. It also has this awesome clip, which is also the dual way. If you're wearing a hat, you can attach it on your hat and use it as a headlamp. It's so small and so light. If I'm just going on a little hike and I might stay out after dark, I just take this. It's enough. It doesn't have the same throw as the big boy, but they're for different purposes. This is for just like a round camp. I want to see what's going on. This is, oh, something's going on kind of far away from me. I want to see it. Totally different. I'll show you when we test them out. So this has the same features. It only has one button on it, but you can turn it on, and then once it's on, you hold down the power button, it'll run through the different powers. If it's off, you can double hit it. It'll automatically go to the brightest setting, which is pretty darn bright. I think it's 1300 lumens. I'll put it on the screen. If it's off, and you triple press it, you can get that strobe. I love that the strobe isn't like an automatic thing that's built in. You have to kind of work for it a little bit and hit it 3 times. You can lock it. And you can also, another thing I love about this for camping is when you stick it in the case, you can still use it when it's in the case. And because this is a nice big wide base, you can set it down and the light spreads out really well. So you can stick this in your tent or in your van or in your 4Runner or whatever vehicle you have and use it as an interior light on the inside, and you can see everything really well. And if you hold down the button, it'll go through the different brightnesses. It'll go all like as dim as it can go, and if you press it again, it'll go up to as bright as it goes, and that's awesome. And if it's off and you press the power button, hold it down, it'll go to what's called moonlight mode, which is the least bright, and I think it lasts like 30 days with that level of brightness, which is enough at night when you're out camping or you're outdoors, you want to maintain your night vision. You just hold down the button. It works the same when it's not in the case. There we go. It's almost hard to see when it's light out. And it's super dim, but it's enough to see what's going on, and it's enough to walk with. So if you got lost out in the woods, this would be absolutely indispensable at night to have this, because you can leave this thing on for 30 days straight. It's crazy. The battery in this is also replaceable. It's a little tougher to get off, but there we go. So the battery pops out of this. You've still got the same lifetime warranty. This is amazing. I love this thing. So the two things to watch out for with the Baton 4 is, one, it's really small, easy to lose. It's got the awesome clip on it, so as long as you clip it in a pocket really well and you check every once in a while to make sure it's there, you probably won't have an issue. And I've got another feature I got to show you guys in a second. And the other issue is, look at the front of my hat. It's all chewed up. So I've been using this for about a week and a half at work, and you know, I throw it onto my hat all day long, on and off. Actually, I go the other way, like that, but listen. You hear that? These teeth are nice and grippy, which is awesome for holding this thing, especially when your hands are cold or when it's wet, but they chew up the fabric. So what you can do to avoid that is get the clip on and then lift it up so there's a gap between the knurls and the bill of the hat, and then shift it on and set it down. And it won't chew up your hat like that if you do it that way. So that's a way to avoid that. Let me show you the other awesome feature of both of these flashlights real quick. So the light you are seeing right now is from the Baton 4. Both of these flashlights have a magnet on the end, and you can stick them up on anything metal and use them as a light. Let's yeah, there's 3. Look at that. And you can see the difference in the beam pattern a little bit there. We'll get into some more tests in a second here. But look at how much more of a flood the Baton is. All right, so here is the Baton 4 on turbo mode. And I'll turn on the This is the Warrior 3S Turbo. I'll stick that down. Here's the Baton again. You can see the difference between the turbo modes there. The Warrior 3S just has a lot more throw and it's a lot more focused. So let's put the, there we go. Here is low on the Baton. You can see it barely lights up that, that rock. This is really nice, like in a tent or in a vehicle or in a really like small reflective surface or something. And here is the medium mode. This is the one I use the most when I'm just around camp. And if I'm looking for something or I hear a noise, I'll hit it again. And here is high on the Baton, which is pretty darn bright. It is bright enough. And it's really close to the, see if we can get it. There's turbo mode. It's pretty darn close to the turbo mode. So even though the turbo mode doesn't last that long on the Baton, high is so close that it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And of course, if it's off and you double press it, it'll go straight into turbo mode, assuming that it's not already really hot. And in that case, it'll just go to high. So definitely bright enough, very impressive for such a small size. This is all you need for camping. If you're out in the backcountry, this is plenty. You know, even if I was worried about mountain lions out here in the backcountry, you're so unlikely to need this much light. And man, in person, I can see all the way through those trees way back there with this thing, where you can't with the little guy. All right, it's the next day. It's worth noting a couple of features I missed. On the main button to the right, there are 4 LED lights that light up to tell you your battery level, and on the left, there are 4 LED lights to tell you what battery or what brightness level you are at. So that is really cool. And it's worth noting how incredible their packaging is. Let's do a really quick unboxing here. So you open it up this way, there's a nice little magnetic closure, and then we've got a flap that gives you some basic information. You lift that out, pull that out, and then bam, you've got your Baton 4 Premium in here. There's going to be some little plastic tabs you pull out that block the battery from charging. And also on the case itself, on the power button, you might have a hard time reading it right now, but it'll tell you the battery percentage. Right now it says 76. And then on the Baton 4 Mini, on the right side, it's got a battery level indicator indicated by the little battery symbol, and on the left side there is a brightness indicator. And since there are only 3 LED lights, when it's in turbo mode, it'll actually, the lights will pulse. And when you turn this light on, the Baton 4 kind of softly goes up to brightness, which is really nice on your eyes at night. Being a tactical flashlight, this is more of a hard instant on, which is really cool. It's the thought that went into these lights. It's awesome. I'm a perfectionist, and I can tell that the engineers are absolutely perfectionists too. The fine little details really make this thing. So on with the unboxing. Once you get the light out, there's a little pull tab here. You pull that out, and then we've got another little box inside, and then it says thank you. And in here, we have a little lanyard to go on the case. And since this little thread is going to be difficult to put through here, they actually give you, let's see if I can fish it out. They give you a little hook to pull the lanyard through the case, which is a really nice touch. And then you've got a USB-C to USB-A cable. They even give you a nice little rubber cable holder to keep this nice and organized. You can use this to charge up your phone or whatever. You're gonna have to get an adapter for whatever type of charging interface your phone or whatever device you're using uses. And then you've got a nice little lens wipe to wipe the lens of the flashlight and keep it clean and scratch free. You've got a really good user manual with all kinds of visual diagrams, all the information you might need, all the functionality and everything else. You've got multiple languages, and then of course they include a user warning and safety stuff. It's got lithium batteries, so you want to be careful with that. Good to know. Overall, thoughts. This Baton 4 is the perfect DDC flashlight. I always have this thing on me now. At the end of the night, I just throw it in the case, and then every once a week probably I charge the case, if even that. Depends on what I'm doing, if I'm working or camping. If I were going on a backpacking trip, I would take this. This is all you need. When you're in the backcountry, animals are not accustomed to people and they're weary. If I were in grizzly bear country, I'd probably take this just so I could see as far away as possible. But this is awesome to just throw in your bag. You can keep your phone charged if you need it for GPS or emergency, you know, using the satellite function on your phone. If you have that, you can keep your phone charged with this. Super, super cool. This, as far as having it on your hip, it's a little bulky, it's a little heavy for me for EDC, but if you're out in the backcountry or even if you're in the city and you want to use this as a self-defense flashlight to, you know, blind somebody or be able to see down a dark alleyway or get the strobe setup going on, this is the perfect tactical flashlight. This is also the perfect car camping flashlight, just to have around camp, to be able to see what's going on in the distance. And yeah, that's my thoughts on these. They make a perfect pair to be able to just have this thing on you at all times and have your backup super bright guy here. Super, super nice. I love these flashlights. Definitely recommend them. It's worth doing the buy once, cry once, and pay for something good that's going to last you for forever. Reminder, they have the lifetime warranty, so if something does break, which I don't think it will, these things are made out of aluminum. They're super tough. They're going to last forever. The button on the baton is metal, so that's going to last for forever. I love these things. Super, super happy.